hoping to educate people about the misunderstood creatures lurking beneath the surface. Every weekend, she ventured out on her bodyboard, armed with bags of fish scraps, and offered her underwater friends a feast. However, this weekend was different. The news spread like wildfire that a magnificent great white shark had appeared near the coast. Yet even the bravest locals had shivers sent down their spines by her immense size and fierce reputation. As Natalie ventured further into the deep blue on her bodyboard, a mixture of excitement and trepidation coursed through her veins. She could hardly wait to see the shark up close, her heart pounding like a tribal drum. The sea appeared eerily calm but belied the storm brewing beneath the surface. A school of smaller sharks circled her, their sleek bodies glistening in the sunlight. Natalie threw handfuls of fish scraps into the water, and the sharks darted to grab their share. The ocean seemed tranquil, but fate had other plans. Without warning, a great white shark erupted from the surface and surged towards her. It clamped down on Natalie's leg with terrifying force, using her immense jaws. Her body was seared with pain as she screamed, while the great white shark splintered her bodyboard in its jaws. A whirlpool of chaos engulfed Natalie's world. She thrashed in agony, desperately trying to break free from the vice-like grip of the predator as blood clouded the water. The shark fixed her cold, merciless eyes on her prey and had other plans. It released its grip with a mighty jerk, sending Natalie hurtling through the water, disoriented and bleeding profusely. In horror, she watched the massive creature circling back, blurring her vision with pain and fear. A miracle appeared on the horizon when Natalie's strength was waning. A sea patrol boat came into view, slicing through the water with its sleek hull. The crew raced to the scene, alerted by the commotion. The boat's crew swiftly assessed the situation, and with nerves of steel, they deployed a rescue net. Natalie's incident had become a beacon, attracting others to the cause of marine conservation. She speaks at schools, community centers, and conferences, her voice serving as a clarion call for understanding and respect. The Queen of the Abyss had completed her journey, coming full circle. The woman who had once dared to feed the sharks now stood as their guide. The tale had become a testament to the enduring power of the human urge. As the years passed, Natalie continued her mission. She established a marine education center, providing a haven for those seeking to explore the ocean's beauties. And so it transcended into more than a story of survival. The unbreakable bond between humans and the untamed world just beyond the horizon was a testament. Radiant glow, the sun descended slowly towards the horizon, enveloping the cliffs of Marlowe's Cove in 2006 in a captivating warm golden hue. Emma Rodriguez, a young woman with dark hair and a determined gaze, stood confidently at the water's edge. Her eyes were fixed on the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean, stretching out before her in all its majestic glory. With their rhythmic dance, the crashing waves captivated her senses, filling her with awe and wonder. Emma's mind was consumed by the sheer magnitude of the ocean's power as she contemplated the wonders beneath its surface. A mix of anticipation and determination filled her of their thrilling journey beneath the waves. The expedition unfolded, and weeks gradually transformed into months as time passed. The crew bravely faced and navigated through treacherous storms that put their mettle to the ultimate test. Each night was filled with suspense as the looming presence of the sharks lurked menacingly beneath the surface, adding an extra layer of tension to their already difficult journey. With every sighting, they grew closer to exploring the wonders that surrounded the sharks. On a fine morning when the heavy fog enveloped the water, Emma's keen eyes caught sight of a colossal shape gracefully gliding beneath the waves. Feeling her heart racing with anticipation, she eagerly motioned for Dr. Hayes to join her. As they gazed through the ethereal mist, a sense of awe washed over them, captivated by the sight of a vast shark effortlessly gliding through the water. It was a mesmerizing display, a testament to this magnificent creature's power and grace. The following days seemed to pass in a blur, as she caught up in a whirlwind of adrenaline-fueled encounters. They witnessed breaches that sent water cascading down like a majestic waterfall, marveling at nature's forces' sheer power and beauty. They keenly observed hunting behaviors that defied conventional wisdom, their eyes widening in awe as they witnessed nature's cunning and adaptability in action. With its immense size and power, the shark embodied a formidable force of nature, showcasing the untamed beauty of the ocean. Emma found herself amid a heart-pounding encounter with the shark one fateful day. The shark suddenly emerged from the water with a resounding splash, its massive form ascending towards Emma. Before she could react, the immense great white shark dove toward her with its open jaws. Fear and adrenaline flooded through her veins at that instant. The impact sent agony waves through her body, leaving her with bruises and disorientation. Dr. Hayes' ever-vigilant encounter with a massive shark. Dr. Hayes and Captain Thornton exchanged sharks' presence had undergone a remarkable transformation, as they have now become a tangible reality that is forever etched into the annals of marine science. The expedition expanded Emma and Dr. Hayes' knowledge, and forged a bond that transcended the depths they had explored. The indelible mark of the massive shark was carried by them, serving as a constant reminder of the untamed wonders that continue to roam the vast expanse of the ocean. As time passed, They established themselves as individuals who marine research, attracting experts and enthusiasts worldwide. The town's newfound reputation as a scientific and maritime research hub brought excitement and opportunity, breathing new life into its once sleepy streets. Emma and Doxtums and the delicate balance beneath the waves. However, while receiving accolades and recognition, Emma and Dr. Hayes managed to maintain their unwavering passion for the sea. They continued their exploration of the oceans, eagerly embarking on exciting new expeditions to study a myriad of elusive marine creatures. They always approached their work with the same reverence and wonder that had fueled their first encounter with a massive shark and other species. Harbor, nestled on the rugged shores of South Australia, was known for its breathtaking cliffs, pristine beaches, and a history steeped in maritime lore. The relentless waves of the Southern Ocean crashed against the rocky outcrops, creating a symphony that echoed through the narrow cobblestone streets. Port Harbor, though idyllic, held a dark secret beneath its azure waters. Ancient predators ruled a realm where nature's untamed power reigned supreme. Great white sharks, known for their size, slicing through the surface with its dorsal fin. The predator, a great white of massive proportions, stroked with a ferocity that shatters the moment's serenity. Sarah's screams pierced the air as the merciless jaws clutched her body, causing her to thrash. She witnessed a swift and brutal attack, a visceral clash of survival instincts. Once a sanctuary, the ocean transforms into a battleground of primal forces. Nearby locals, alerted by the commotion, rushed to Sarah's aid. Their boats were slicing through the waves. The haunting memory of that fateful day fueled her determination to bridge the gap between humans and the wild, untamed beauty of the ocean. Sarah's legacy echoed through the ages, showcasing the strength of the human spirit and the awe-inspiring power of the untamed. Memories lingered, but he now tempered them with a sense of purpose and a newfound respect for the ocean's untamed inhabitants. One evening, Sarah stood on the same beach that had borne witness to her harrowing ordeal. Captain Elias Donovan, a weathered seafarer, approached from the shoreline with eyes that held the wisdom of an experience and stood tall. He greeted Miss Mitchell with a knowing smile, his weathered lips playing. The assistant heard of the user's endeavors. Their dedication to these creatures is commendable. The captain turned their gaze towards the horizon, where the sea and sky met in an endless embrace. The ocean holds its wonders, and its guardians protect it. Their shared understanding transcends words. Sarah knew the ocean could be untamed and unforgiving, but it also contained a profound beauty that resonated with those who dared to venture into its depths. Sarah and Captain Donovan stood together, bound by a common reverence. At that moment, the echoes of Sarah's encounter with the great white shark merged with the timeless rhythm of the sea, testifying to the enduring power of nature and the indomitable spirit of those who dare to venture into its embrace. Like the frothy waves around their diving boat as it zipped through the pristine waters of South Australia during the blistering hot summer of 19. The golden sun painted the sky, its warmth dancing on their skin, and the sea breeze carried a salty tang that invigorated the senses. The sparkling, crystal-clear ocean stretched infinitely, promising a world of wonders beneath its surface. Timothy was accompanied by his closest buddies, Larry Graham, Julius Till, and Andy Chapman. They were embarking on a scuba diving adventure of a lifetime, guided by Randall Arthur, an experienced diving instructor. The excitement was palpable, mingling with nervousness as they approached the dive site. As the boat came to a gentle stop, anchored over the dive spot, the group began to prepare for the dive, a world he was about to immerse himself in. With a deep breath and a surge of excitement, he plunged into the welcoming embrace of the ocean. The initial shock of the cool water soon subsided, replaced by a serene feeling as he descended further. The underwater world unfolded before his eyes in a kaleidoscope of colors and life. Beautiful corals swayed gently, their hues ranging from soft pinks to vibrant oranges. Shoals of fish darted around, painting the water with flashes of silver and gold. Timothy's amazement grew as he explored the depths, the anxiety replaced by awe and wonder. The marine life, so diverse and intricate, seemed to exist in harmony, an underwater ballet of nature. The gentle swaying of the seaweed, the darting fish, and the ethereal play of light through the water left him breathless. In this peaceful underwater realm, he swam alongside a magnificent seawall. The colors were breathtaking. Shades of blue and green melded into one another seamlessly. It was a tranquil and surreal experience, a dance of aquatic life in a world unknown to many. As Timothy continued his swim along a massive seawall, an unexpected and alarming sight suddenly disrupted the tranquil atmosphere. The gentle waves were interrupted by erratic movements that caught Timothy's attention in his peripheral vision. Intrigued yet cautious, he turned his head to investigate, and his heart skipped a beat as he witnessed a bone-chilling scene. There, in the vast expanse of the ocean, were two great white sharks, both formidable in size and power. One of the sharks measured an imposing 12 feet in length, while the other was even more colossal at a daunting 14 feet. They were heading straight towards his friends. He watched in horror as his friends began to panic, when they noticed the colossal predators heading their way. Their frantic movements sent ripples through the water as they swam desperately towards the surface. The atmosphere turned tense and chaotic as fear gripped the group, the reality of the situation sinking in. Julius, one of Timothy's dear friends, was in terror as one of the great white sharks lunged and latched onto his torso. Its serrated teeth pierced his diving suit, puncturing his flesh. The horrifying sight left Timothy paralyzed with shock and helplessness. The shark thrashed violently, with Julius caught in its powerful jaws. In that moment of unspeakable horror, the shark momentarily let go, giving a false glimmer of hope. But within an instant it struck again, a savage and merciless assault. The shark ruthlessly attacked Julius once more, biting his head off in a gruesome act of savagery. Timothy's terror reached a horrifying peak as he witnessed the nightmarish scene unfolding before his eyes. Julius's limp, headless carcass slowly sank into the sea's dark depths, leaving a trail of blood in its wake. As he helplessly watched Julius's lifeless form descend, Timothy's heart sank further when he realized that another friend, Larry, was suffering a similar fate. The second great white shark wasted no time in its relentless pursuit. It swiftly sank its teeth around Larry's neck and shoulders, immediately snuffing out the life from him with ruthless precision. Timothy's eyes were fixed on his friend's body as it writhed in pain and despair, every movement a testament to his enduring agony. It was a horrifying and heart-wrenching sight that Timothy was forced to witness, as Larry's body convulsed in the throes of agony before eventually becoming limp, succumbing to the fatal injury inflicted by the relentless predator. Panic surged through the remaining survivors as adrenaline and the initial instinct of survival woke them from their stupor. Andy, Randall, and Timothy, their hearts pounding in terror, frantically swam toward the surface, their minds consumed with the hope that the sharks would be content with their earlier prey. The urgency of their escape fueled their strokes, pushing them to their limits. Breaking through the surface, their gasps for air mixed with the dread still clung to them. The crew on the boat, alerted to the dire situation, acted swiftly. They threw buoys attached to ropes into the water, hoping to provide a lifeline to the desperate divers. In the moment's chaos, the three survivors grabbed onto the buoys, their grip desperate and white-knuckled. The buoy became their lifeline, a symbol of hope amidst the night, targeting Andy with frightening precision. The air turned thick with tension as the monstrous predator lunged at Andy, its movements quick and savage. The great white shark's gaping maw clamped down on Andy's neck and torso, its razor-sharp teeth sinking deep into flesh and bone. Andy, overwhelmed by the force and ferocity of the attack, was dragged back into the unforgiving depths of the ocean once more. The scene was a horrifying display of nature's brutality, leaving Timothy paralyzed with shock and dread. Timothy's piercing scream shattered the air, echoing in the vast expanse of the sea. He felt paralyzed, his body unable to respond as fear gripped him tightly. At that moment, a hand, though the grim reality was all too apparent. It was already too late. The horrifying truth set in as they grappled with the knowledge that the two great whites had decapitated Timothy's three best friends, even of Cape Crest, off the coast of Australia. With its quaint beach town allure, this coastal gem had an almost otherworldly charm that beckoned travelers from all corners in search of their enchanted escape. Mark Howard and Emily Hoffman, two young souls yearning for a romantic weekend escapade, were no exception, as they were also captivated by the magnetic allure of this coast with Mark. The sun was beginning to set, painting the sky with hues of orange and pink, as the couple donned their wetsuits and grabbed their surfboards. They paddled out into the ocean, the waves crashing against their boards as they ventured further from the shore. Mark's excitement was palpable as he scanned the horizon for the perfect wave. He could feel the adrenaline building within him, ready to be unleashed in the rush of the ride. Great white shark had sensed their presence. The scent of nearby seals and the vibrations from the powerful waves had drawn the apex predator into the vicinity. As the couple paddled further out, Mark spotted a promising swell approaching. With an eager grin, he positioned himself ready to catch the wave. The powerful force of the ocean carried him, and for that moment, everything else faded away. He became a helpless figure suspended against the twilight sky before gravity took hold once more, and he came crashing down with a resounding splash into the churning water below. Disoriented and struggling to find his bearings, Mark desperately tried to swim towards the surface. Unbeknownst to him, his frantic movements in the water had drawn the attention of a formidable 13-foot great white shark, which had mistaken him for a seal in distress. Breaking through the surface, Mark frantically searched for his surfboard still attached to him. However, he remained oblivious to the ominous fin gliding stealthily towards him. He realized the impending danger only when he turned, but it was too late. Suddenly, heart-stopping, the great white shark lunged at Mark. His instinct was to raise his hand in a feeble attempt at protection, but it offered scant defense against the onslaught. The shark's jaws clamped down on Mark's right hand, its serrated teeth sinking deep into his skin and muscles, ruthlessly grinding against his bones. A primal scream of agony erupted from Mark's throat as the shark thrashed violently, worsening his wounds and ripping flesh with each savage motion. Panic seized Mark as adrenaline coursed through his veins. compelling him to react with sheer desperation. He punched the menacing shark with his remaining hand in a frenzy while repeatedly kicking its belly. Each blow was a manifestation of his primal instinct to survive, a defiant struggle against the relentless force of nature. As he fought to keep himself above the water, the cruel reality of the situation became evident. The shark's sheer size and power gave it a significant advantage. It was horrifying as the massive creature exerted its strength, overpowering Mark. Helplessly, he was dragged beneath the surface, the ocean swallowing him in its cold, unforgiving depths. Jake's experienced gaze canvassed the expansive horizon, a palpable anticipation that seemed to shimmer in the sultry air. Then, as if summoned by destiny, the tranquil silence was jolted by the electrifying zing of the fishing reel. Jake had snared something big, a massive marlin. Beads of sweat trickled down Jake's weathered face, marking the strain as he wrestled with the formidable resistance of his fishing rod. His muscles pulsed and protested against the protracted duel. The marlin, refusing to yield to the fisherman's efforts, stood as a formidable opponent, a living testament to the untamed forces that dictate the natural order. This struggle persisted under the relentless afternoon sun, an arduous contest pitting Jake's determination against the marlin's struggle for freedom. In a moment when triumph felt imminent, the calm sea erupted into a frenzy of foam and gnashing teeth. A colossal 15-foot great white shark, the epitome of an apex predator, burst forth from the depths with primal ferocity. Propelled by sheer force and instinct, the creature seized the marlin, sending shockwaves across the ocean. Amidst this chaotic scene, Jake was violently yanked overboard, entangled in a whirlwind of bone-chilling terror. The boat pitched and rolled violently after the struggle, the previously calm sea resembling a tumultuous battleground. Jake struggled to regain his balance amidst the surging waves and disorienting chaos. Meanwhile, the oceanic behemoth lurked beneath, circling and preparing for another assault. In a heart-stopping moment, the great white lunged from the depths, its malevolent eyes fixated on Jake. The massive jaws snapped shut, sinking razor-sharp teeth into Jake's left leg. The excruciating pain tore through his body, and he screamed, a primal cry of agony that echoed across the vast, unforgiving ocean. The teeth pierced flesh and bone, a vice-like grip that threatened to drag Jake into the ocean's depths. Panic surged, adrenaline pumping as Jake fought for his life. He kicked and punched, summoning every ounce of strength in a desperate bid to free himself from the maw of the fierce predator. The water turned into a horrifying mix of blood and salt water, as the shark's attack inflicted deep wounds on Jake's leg. The metallic smell of blood filled the air, adding to the tension of the life-and-death struggle unfolding in the once serene ocean. Each moment felt like an eternity, marked by searing pain and an overwhelming sense of desperation. It was a brutal fight for survival against an unyielding predator. Then, in an almost unbelievable turn of events, the great white shark let go of its tight grip on Jake's leg. The jaws that had clamped down on him slowly released their hold, granting a fleeting moment of relief in this life-or-death confrontation. The battle, fueled by a surge of adrenaline, now teetered on the edge of uncertainty. It could have been Jake's frantic and desperate attempts to fight back, targeting sensitive spots on the predator that made the shark hesitate. Or perhaps amid the chaotic struggle for survival, the shark realized that Jake was not the intended prey. Jake's leg was mangled despite the reprieve, the damage severe and life-altering. The wound oozed blood, staining the sea with a sickly shade of red. Jake struggled to stay afloat, his strength waning as he grappled with the unimaginable pain. Thankfully, Donnie, his loyal companion, was aboard the boat. In a desperate bid to save his friend, Donnie acted swiftly, throwing a buoy attached to a rope into the water. He reeled Jake in, his muscles straining against the weight of his injured comrade. Once aboard, the extent of Jake's injuries became agonizingly apparent. Once a source, enjoyable occasion turns into an absolute nightmare. In the early years of the Western Cape, South Africa, the town of Gansbaai drew a lot of tourists because of its amazing natural beauty and the immense ocean waters that churned with majestic waves, especially during the summer. However, this wonderful town was also known for being home to one of the deadliest shark species, the great white shark. In present times, people are safely lowered into cages to experience a personal encounter with these majestic creatures, ensuring their protection from harm. However, for Lucas and his family. On the planned day of their Gansbaai tour, as Lucas's family packed their beach essentials to indulge in the breathtaking waterscape, Lucas made sure to bring along his cherished surfing equipment, as he eagerly anticipated the chance to catch exhilarating waves, arrived at their destination. Although rumors about awful events in the town's ocean waters were present at the time, such worrying news quickly faded into the background, unable to overshadow the excitement of their visit. The presence of vigilant lifeguards and security staff gave reassurance, ensuring prompt assistance in the event of any serious incidents. Once settled in their designated spot, Lucas and his family quickly changed into their beach clothing and joined the other beachgoers, enjoying the wonderful surroundings. They unloaded their picnic items and set out to seize the majestic waves with much anticipation. Lucas and the others relished the thrilling waves as they set off on their surfing excursion, skillfully riding their boards. Onlookers, including Lucas's family, applauded and delighted in the thrill, captivated by the show of talent and finesse. It was an amazing experience, with the waves providing just the ideal combination of height and beauty to elicit a great sensation of excitement in Lucas. Lucas hovered gracefully with each wave, proving his talent and enjoying every moment. At one time, though, he and the other surfers disappeared into the expanse of a giant wave, poised to burst out into the screaming crowd. However, Lucas did not emerge from the depths this time. His absence caused instant alarm among his wife and children, who examined the waterways, hoping to catch a glimpse of him. Unfortunately, he remained evasive, leaving them unsettled and unsure of his whereabouts. Lucas fought for his life against the unrelenting ocean waves, urgently seeking his surfboard and trying to stay afloat. He fought against the knocking waves that tried to draw him back into the deep blue abyss, determined to reach the safety of the shore. He had no idea that a predator was lurking beneath the surface, monitoring his every move. It wasn't just any predator, it was a great white shark, one of only a handful in Gansbaai at the time. Lucas couldn't shake the unsettling feeling of disturbance in the water, as if a concealed entity was advancing. He had grown in his ability to notice motions in the water as an experienced swimmer and surfer, especially when they were close up. Curiosity got the best of him, and he dove headfirst, determined to find the source of the dreary currents. What he saw beneath the surface terrified him, his heartbeat thumping so rapidly that it felt like it might burst from his chest. Lucas drove himself upward with energy, breaching the sea's surface and swimming with all his strength toward the crowded shoreline. He used evasive moves to confuse the shark, desperate to outmaneuver the horrific creature. But Lucas's efforts were ineffective in the face of the underwater marvel's agility and speed. A sharp, searing pain went through his legs, just as he was about to reach the safety of the beach and the view of the crowd again, forcing him to scream in agony. The jaws of the great white shark had locked onto his legs, tearing into his flesh with unrelenting force. Lucas's distressed shouts pierced the air in that moment of anxiety, drawing the attention of his alert family and beachgoers. Their faces were filled with horror as they watched the water around Lucas turn red, indicating the presence of a crisis. Lucas fought back, fueled by a burst of strength and survival instincts, delivering assertive kicks and punches, trying to break free from the predator's persistent grip. To his disbelief, another great white shark emerged from the depths, drawn by the thick cloud of blood that had now consumed the waters around them. The shark buried its fangs into Lucas's arm with lightning speed, intensifying his frantic calls for help. Fortunately, a bunch of surfers happened to be within range, drawn by the commotion. They moved quickly toward the ensuing disaster. Concurrently, security workers, alerted to the emergency, immediately plunged into the water with their boats, desperate to save Lucas from the jaws of the ongoing threat. Lucas's family, notably his wife, pleaded for assistance, their voices echoing with sorrow. Despite Lucas's brave efforts to repel the relentless sharks, Lucas was overpowered. One of the sharks viciously tore off his leg, forcing Lucas to erupt in a piercing primal scream. As the intense pain overwhelmed him, he drifted unconscious, his body disappearing into the deep crimson-stained waters. The alert surfers arrived at his precise place just in time. Bracing themselves, they rammed their surfboards into the sharks, continuously hitting them until they let go of Lucas's bruised limbs and swam away, carrying his severed leg in their frightening jaws. The security team arrived quickly and efficiently, skillfully piloting their boat to extract Lucas from the dangerous waters. Although Lucas had already lost a large amount of blood, they were able to stop the bleeding and reduce further king among the most terrifying shark attack accounts. It stood as an ominous and deadly reminder of the fragility of life, as well as the great appreciation Lucas and his family felt for his narrow escape from the grasp of the abyss. It also bore the weight of his permanent impairment, a continual reminder of the enduring suffering, problems, and anxieties we face today. Nothing compares to the terror of being in a life-or-death scenario, especially one that is deadly and excruciating. In April 1974, Kawil Ladan was newly employed as a lifeguard at Mogadishu's well-known beach. Mogadishu is a flourishing city in the African country of Somalia. Rumors of deadly sharks lurking in the beach waters and ocean had spread like wildfire at the time. Some unfortunate tourists were previously killed by these claimed sharks, their bodies covered with ghastly shark bite injuries. Although these cases were not skewing those in difficulty in the ocean, there were no huge incidents to deal with for a while, which made him even more enthusiastic about his job. He appreciated the opportunity to do what he loved in such a comfortable and relaxing setting. One day, Kawil was at the beach on a day off, wrapping up some unfinished business for the next day. When he was done, he spent several hours alone on the beach, vibrancy even amid the mist. With the day winding down, Kawil decided to go on a little adventure by taking a boat ride into the alluring ocean, adding the perfect finishing touch to his relaxing day. Before setting off, he noticed another lifeguard who had also dropped by to attend to some work. The two exchanged greetings, briefly acknowledging each other's presence before Kawil set out on his boat while his companion did his duties. As Kawil paddled through the enchanting ocean waters, he immersed his hands in the refreshingly chilly liquid, relishing its tranquility. Memories of his childhood days flooded his mind, where beach visits with his family were unrestricted and full of joy. His excitement peaked as the sun on the beach became brighter, radiantly reflecting the sea's surface. Kawil had no idea that previous stories of danger lurking in these waters would soon become his reality. Unknown to him, a 13-foot tiger shark had taken charge of this ocean area. Due to the lack of marine life in the area, this predator had grown into an even more deadly force, driven by an insatiable hunger to feast on anything that crossed its path. The cold-blooded behemoth fixed its gaze on the boat, ready to strike, sensing the presence of prospective prey. Kawil was easily paddling through the ocean when his voyage was unexpectedly cut short by the persistent jostling of his canoe, leaving him puzzled and searching for answers. The boat capsized before he understood the situation, releasing him into the corrosive waters below. Panic did not take over because he knew how to swim, but his mind was filled with questions about what had caused his boat to capsize. A sharp, searing pain rushed through Kawil's legs, cutting through the water's serenity as he began swimming toward his upturned boat to right it and resume his journey back. He let out a series of terrifying screams, the echoes of which could be heard deep into the vast ocean. Kawil instinctively plunged his head underneath, adrenaline running through his veins to find the source of his suffering. What he saw in front of him defied belief and pounded his heart. Nearby was a shark, its blunt head and streamlined body ready to ravage his right legs with its serrated coxcomb-shaped teeth. Struggling against the excruciating pain, he frantically kicked with his remaining leg, desperately trying to fend off the relentless predator. Simultaneously, his cries for help pierced the vast expanse of water, his voice carrying the hope that the other lifeguard, not too far away, would hear his distress call and rush to his rescue. Kawil was dismayed that his kicks had little effect on the relentless shark. He ached desperately for his boat paddle, but remained out of reach. In a last-ditch effort to escape the sea creature's gnawing jaws, he lowered himself into the ocean's depths and punched it. Each strike intensified the pain, driving the razor-sharp teeth deeper into his flesh. As his blood blended with the water, the ocean became a whirling backdrop of red, producing a horrific sight. Consciousness gradually waned, compelling Kawil to surrender to the shadows. But he knew he wouldn't wake up to the world if he let himself sleep, so he kept pushing the shark away and screaming for help. He pushed the shark away with all his might, summoning every ounce of power he had left while screaming for assistance, hoping that someone would rescue him from this horrifying encounter. Thankfully, the other lifeguard had heard Kawil's cries and had paddled quickly towards him, propelled by the growing shouts and the horrifying sight unfolding before his eyes. Recognizing the urgency, he pushed through the water, propelled by an adrenaline rush, to save Kawil. Kawil fought against the encroaching unconsciousness, knowing the deadly tiger shark's jaws were poised to seize him as prey. The moment hung in the balance as he glanced into the shark's depths, an uncompromising reminder of his nearing death. Suddenly, gunshots rang out across the ocean, relieving the tension as the lifeguard aimed ruthlessly at the sea where the shark had bound Kawil. The bullets prompted the deadly predator to release its grip and escape into the depths, potentially injured by the bullets. The lifeguard heroically plunged into the ocean waters, dragging Kawil into the boat's safety. Knowing the severity of Kawil's injuries, he immediately alerted the ambulance and requested additional to boost the action, ensuring that viewers were hooked and left with enough to talk about. However, the actors reacted with hesitation and skepticism to this decision. They were terrified of what the shoot was scheduled to take place in the vast ocean waters between eastern Australia and the South Pacific. The sight of these waters was breathtaking, Their shimmering and flowing appeal, where deep blue waves met rough beige sand, captivated everyone. It was like a warm and welcoming blanket.